Hello student. Today we will discuss about the parking studies. So basically it is under your traffic engineering module. So before starting the lecture, let me introduce myself. Myself Dr. Devashish Das. I am the assistant professor of JIS College of Engineering. And here is my email address and my mobile number and WhatsApp number are given. So if you have any doubt, you can contact me in the given contact details. So first we have to understand what is parking. So parking is basically the phenomena or the act for loading and unloading of goods or for boarding and deboarding of any passenger. So basically it is one of the problem created by the traffic in parking. Not only do vehicles require street space to move about, but also do they require space to park where the occupants can be loaded or unloaded. As I said that basically it is a process of loading and unloading of goods and boarding and deboarding of the passenger. So this whole phenomena or the whole incident is called as the parking system. So parking system is one of the very significant aspect of traffic engineering in terms of the traffic movement, in terms of the delay, in terms of the accident, in terms of the speed. So how these all parameters are related to parking system. This thing should be clearly understand or should be clearly known to you. As you know, the parking, whenever one vehicle is stopped at some location to for until the fulfilling the purpose for for some time or for few instance of the time, the vehicle occupy a particular space. So this means the speed will be reduced. Why? Because the width of the vehicle will be reduced. Width of the vehicle will be reduced means the volume, the number of the vehicle will remain same. But if the vehicles is standing on the road, that is called the parking, then the volume will automatically be decrease. If the volume will be decreased, then the speed will also be decreased. So in that case, the volume will be constant, the speed will be decreased. That means the delay will occur. And once the delay will be occur, your complete journey will be in a discomfort position. So you can understand that the effect or the impact of parking on the various component of traffic engineering like speed, capacity, volume, in terms of geometric design, everything will be affected if we are failed to provide a improper parking system. So managing the parking is very vital or very crucial and a challenging task also for the traffic engineer. Now if we are talking about the parking, so almost all you have seen the parking of the vehicle. Now the parking are basically two types. One is on street parking or on road parking or car parking. This terminology are the synonyms of on street parking, and another is off street parking. So we will discuss in brief about the types of the on street parking, the definition of the on street parking, the types of the off street parking, the schematic diagram of the pattern of on street parking and off street parking. But before that, we should understand the basic thing, the basic terminology, basic component of parking. So before going to the basic fundamentals of the parking, let's discuss about some introduction. So the traveling vehicle at one time or another will need to park for a short or the long time. Need for parking spaces is great in area where land use include business, residential or commercial. Yes, definitely if some relatives visit your places, they need to park the vehicle. And the relatives, if the relatives are staying for 2 or 3 hours, that means the vehicle, that the particular space will be occupied for that by that particular vehicle of those relatives. So in this way, the in the residential area or in terms of all residents or many residents have their own four-wheeler. So in the ground floor is dedicated for the parking area. Means that space is all occupied. You cannot use that space for any other purposes. So these are the some land uses. Based on the land uses, the parking duration or the parking occupancy will be different. In a high density area, spaces are very expensive, thus the space provided for automobiles usually has to be divided between their movement and parking. Now, what are the effect of parking? As I said in the initial slides, that there are various effect of parking on the traffic movement. The first one is the congestion. So it is definitely that if the congestion is there, means the speed will be reduced, means your discomfort level will be increased. Then the chances of accident will be increased. Obstruction to firefighting operation. Yes, for the emergency purposes like your ambulance service, your firefighting services will be disturbed uh, with the huge amount of parking is deployed on that particular road. Next is the effect on environment. Yes, definitely it will also harm the or hamper the environment condition, because whenever one vehicle is intend to park or depark his or her vehicle, then there will be emission of the CO2, because he or she, in some places he or she have to wait for 5 minutes or say 10 minutes or even 15 minutes to get a empty or the vacant parking area, and in that case the vehicle is continuous in a engine on condition. So in that case, due to the high emission of the CO2, the environment will also be affected. So what are the various ill effect of the parking? So these are the things which are already discussed. The congestion, the parking takes considerable street space, leading to the lowering of the road capacity. Hence, the speed will be reduced, journey time and the delay will also subsequently increases. The operational cost of the vehicle increases, leading to great economical loss of the community. Yes, the thing already been discussed. Next is the accident. Careless maneuvering of parking and unparking leads to accident, which are referred to as the parking accident. Common type of parking accidents occur while driving out a car from a parking area, careless opening of the doors of parked car, and while bringing in the vehicles to the parking lot of the parking area. Environmental pollution, they also cause a pollution to environment, because stopping and starting of the vehicles while parking and unparking result to noise and fumes. They also affect the aesthetic beauty of the building, because cars parked at every available spaces creates a feeling that the building rise from a plinth of the car. Yes, definitely. So of aesthetic view is also hampered with the improper parking management system. Next, the obstruction to firefighting operation. Parked vehicle may obstruct the movement of the firefighting. Not only the firefighting, fighting all the emergency services like ambulance also. Sometimes they also block access to hydrants and access to the building. General terms of parking facilities. So these are some parking facilities. So what are those? So the parking facilities, the first thing is that parking accumulation. So for the park, what is parking accumulation? The total number of the vehicles parked in an area at a specified moment. Means at a particular time segment, the area where the total area the under which a total amount of vehicle or total number of vehicles are parked. Parking volume, the number of the vehicles parked in a particular area over a given period of time. It is usually measured in vehicles per day. This the unit is vehicles per day. This does not account for a repetition of the vehicles. Yes, that means there will be no repetition. There will be no repetition. The all the number, the means the number of the vehicles per day. This number is unique for each type of the vehicle. The actual volume of the vehicles enter in the area is recorded. So parking load. What is parking load? Parking load gives the area under the accumulation car. It can also be obtained by simply multiplying the number of vehicles occupying the parking area at each time interval with the time interval. It is expressed as the vehicles hours. Means suppose there we intend to do some survey. Later we will discuss that which type of survey. There are in-out survey, there are license plate surveys are there for various type of parking demand calculation. So in that case, if suppose for a 5 minute or 10 minute duration survey, suppose there are 20 number of vehicles are parked in a particular area. That's mean what they suggested, the vehicle occupancy is the parking area at which time interval with the time interval. The total number of vehicles occupying at that area on that particular time duration multiplied by that time duration. Means suppose there are for morning 8 to 8:10 there are 20 number of vehicles are parked. Okay, so parking load will be 20 into 10. 10 means the 10-minute duration and 20 is the number of vehicles. So 200 is the parking load. It is expressed as a vehicle hours. Next, the parking duration means for how many duration the vehicles is parked at that particular area. So it is a length of time spent in a parking space. Next is the parking turnover. Parking turnover, it is the ratio of the number of vehicles parked in a duration to the number of parking bays available. Means what they said, it is a ratio of number of vehicles parked in a duration to the number of parking bays available. What is the parking bay? Parking bay means the available space for each vehicle, for each type. So if you see, if you have ever visited any parking lot, you can find that there is a small white color box is given for each, for an individual vehicle. So this white color or whatever, maybe yellow color, they have segregate or they have identified that this space is for one vehicle to park. This space is exclusively provide for second vehicle to park. So for the exclusive space given by some proper marking is known as the bay. This can be expressed as the number of the vehicles per bay per time duration. So this is the unit of the parking turnover. Next is the parking system. So as I said, the parking is basically two types. One is on-street parking, another is off-street parking. So what is on-street parking? On-street parking means the vehicles are parked on the side of the street itself, means on the surface of the street. That is why it is also termed as the surface parking or car parking, because vehicles are parked at the car side of the road. That is why it is also known as the car parking. This will be usually controlled by government agencies itself. Common type of on-street parking are listed below, means what are the various types of the on-street parking. This classification is based on the angle in which the vehicles are parked with respect to the road alignment. As per IRC, the standard dimension of a car is taken as 5 into 2.5 meter. Yes, this thing already been covered in your characteristics of vehicle, in your second topic of your this module, the characteristics of the dimensions of the various type of vehicle. So the taken as the 5 into 2.5 meter, and that for a truck is 3.75 into 7.5 meters. So these are the standard dimension of your two-wheeler, the four-wheeler, and for the your buses and the trucks. Next is the what are the various types of on-street parking. So the on-street parking are basically classified into five segments. So first thing is that parallel parking, or it is also called as the 180-degree parking. So what does it mean? So the parallel, the vehicles are parked along the length of the road. Here there is no backward movement involved while parking or unparking the vehicle. Hence it is the most safest parking from the accident perspective. But there is a big advantages of the parallel parking, because due to the parking of the parallel condition, it means that it occupied 5 meter of a road, means the length is 5 meter. So you have to provide 5 meter to park the vehicles on street in parallel condition. So you can imagine that the road should be sufficient enough width, so that the road width should not be hampered and the traffic movement should not be hampered. So this type of parking system is provided where the road width is maximum means is sufficient, so that this parallel parking can be accommodated. Next is the 30-degree parking. In 30-degree parking, the vehicles are parked at 30 degree with respect to the road alignment. Road alignment means the center line, the horizontal, the center line is or the alignment is called as the your alignment of the road. In this case, more vehicles can be parked compared to the parallel parking. Delay caused to the traffic is also minimum in this type of parking. Okay, I have mistakenly mentioned one thing, that in parallel parking, in parallel parking, the total road width covered is 2.5 meter. For perpendicular or 90-degree parking, it occupied a 5 meter of the road. But for the parallel parking, it takes 2.5 meter of the road width, because it is parallelly parked. Next is the 45-degree parking. As the angle of parking increases, more number of vehicles can be parked. Hence, compared to the parallel parking and the 30-degree parking, more number of the vehicles can be accommodated in this type of parking. 60-degree parking, the vehicles are parked at a 60-degree to direction of the road. More number of vehicles can be accommodated in this type of parking system. And the right angle, as I said, that it is the right angle is the perpendicular, it is parked at a 90-degree parking. The vehicles is parked perpendicular to the direction of the road, means through the alignment. It is the vehicles is parked in the perpendicular to the alignment. Although it consume maximum width curve length, required is very little. In this type of parking, the vehicle need complex maneuvering, and this may cause several accidents. This arrangement cause obstruction to the road traffic, particularly if the road width is less. Yes, definitely. So now we'll see some schematic diagram of various type of parking. So this is a parallel parking. So you can see that this one is road. Suppose this one is our road system. This one is the curve. This one is the side portion of the road. So vehicles are parked in this destination 1, 2, 3 in this destination. So if you see that in between 1 and 2, it is very tough to park the third vehicle. That is why it is suggested that in parallel parking, it is very tough for maneuvering of the parking and deparking of the vehicles. Whereas for the other type of parking, it is very easy to move your vehicle for maneuvering your vehicle while parking and the deparking. But parallel parking, in parallel parking, the space required is minimum. But the for parking and deparking, you should be expertise in parking aspect. Next is the 30-degree parking. So if you see that this is the roadway and the vehicles are parked at a 30-degree in with the alignment. So here you can see the 30-degree parking. It is a 45-degree parking, so the angle is something different. So how you can find out the 30-degree, 45-degree, because in you need not to park your vehicle by some measuring calculation. The bay will be designed, or bay will be there to maintain the degree itself. The local agencies or the government is already provide you the bay in terms of 30-degree, in terms of 45-degree, in terms of 60-degree. You need to just go to that place and you have to park the vehicle. Next is the 60-degree parking. Yes, so this is the 60-degree type of parking system, and this is the 90-degree type of the parking system. So this one is the road, and here is the vehicle are parked. So if you, so you can see that the road space required to park this vehicle is maximum. So if the we have a limited width of the road, then the 90-degree parking is not suggested. If we have a sufficient road width, that if we go for a parallel 90-degree parking, still our traffic will not be hampered, the traffic speed will not be hampered, the accident will be less, then we go for the 90-degree parking. Until and unless without having a sufficient space, we do not go for the 90-degree parking. Next is the off-street parking. So in off-street parking, in many urban centers, some areas are exclusively allotted for the parking, which is be some distance away from the mainstream of the traffic. Is in some places the off-street may be in at a certain distance from your destination, or in terms of it is underground. So if you visited the shopping mall or any shopping complexes, or even in your residential complexes, you can find out that the ground floor is totally dedicated for your parking, and in some places also the parking are given in the underground parking. So in shopping mall, I want to mention here the point is the underground parking. So underground parking is the off-street parking. In various your organizations, office organization, various schools, colleges, or shopping complexes, you can find out the off-street type of parking system, especially the underground off-street off-street parking system. Now, what are the various types of survey which needed to be conducted during the parking study? So basically there are two types of survey. One is in-out survey, another is license plate survey. So apart from these two survey, there are another type of survey that is called the questionnaire survey. Means you have to set a bunch of questions to get the answer, and the thing is that you have to put less number of question, but you have to put the question tactically so that you can find out maximum output from your questionnaire survey. Because it is found that the very less people are interested to give you a feedback or too interested in questionnaire survey rather than the in-out survey or the license plate survey. So for before doing any type of survey, in-out survey or the license plate survey, and you need to take some permission from the local authority, because in license plate survey you have to note down the registration number, that is the number reflected of the vehicles in the number plate. So this is not a legal issue. So before going to this survey, you have to ensure the security of the data you have collected, and you have to take a proper permission from the local agencies. So in-out survey, in this survey, the occupancy count in the selected parking lot is taken at the beginning. The number of the vehicles that enters the parking lot for a particular time interval is counted. So the first thing is that the occupancy is selected, the parking lot is taken at the beginning, means how many vehicles can be parked on that particular area. First thing is that we have to record that thing. Second thing is that we have to record that how many vehicles are entered at that parking location. The number of vehicles that leaves the parking lot is also taken. The final occupancy in the parking lot is also taken. Here the labor required is very less. Only one person is maybe enough. Yes, if one person will be sitting or the standing in between the entry and the exit point of the parking area. If not, the entry and exit are far apart, so we assume that entry and exit point are close enough so that the particular person can observe the entry vehicles and the observe exit vehicle. And if it is far apart, then you can put the two-person at the entry, one is at the entry point, another at the exit point. But we won't get any data regarding the time duration for which a particular vehicle used that parking lot. So parking duration or parking turnover is not obtained. Hence, we cannot estimate the parking fare from this survey. For quick survey purpose, a fixed period sampling can be done. This is almost similar to in-out survey. All vehicles are counted at the beginning of the survey. Then after a fixed time interval that may vary between 15 minutes to 1 hour, the count is again taken. Here there are chances of missing of number of vehicles that were parked for a short duration. Yes, some vehicles may be parked for the 15 minutes or the 10 minutes, but your counting duration or your noting duration is suppose 30 minutes. So you miss that 20 the vehicles which is exclusively parking for the 10 minutes. So these are the some disadvantage of the in-out survey. Next is the license plate method. This result in the most accurate and realistic data. In this case of survey, every parking stall is monitored at a continuous interval of 15 minutes, and the license plate number is noted down. This will give the data regarding the duration of which a particular vehicle was using the parking bay. This will help in calculating the fare, because fare is estimated based on the duration for which the vehicles was parked. So if you have the parking duration, means for how much duration the vehicles is parked at that good location, and you have the data of the parking fare for that particular parking area on hour basis or 2 hour basis based on the system they have undertaken. So from that you can get an idea that total parking fare can be collected, or the total revenue can be generated from that particular area vehicle was parked. If the time interval is shorter, then there are less chances of missing short-term parkers. But this method is very labor intensive. Yes, you have to conduct this survey from 12 hours from morning 8 to evening 8 based on the type of the land use. So if it is a shopping area, then you can start your survey from 10 a.m. because no one is went for shopping at the early morning, and no one is came back from the shopping area at the evening itself. They will become at the late night at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. So the you can do the survey for the shopping area from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and in office area from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. or 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So based on the type of the land use, the your survey duration need to be fixed. So this is all about your parking system. So if you have any doubt or any query, you there my email id are given, so you can contact with me with that email id. So thank you for the next class.